Mm.
I, that's such an experience that I know to even meet someone who spent time working on the Hill, it's kind of rare. It's not like there's just an abundance of people working on the Hill who come back and say, "Hey, I want to go help Adolph's people." So you're one of very few
Yeah, yeah.
who's come back to the community to say, "Hey, I have this insight and I want to help my people." So tell us a little bit about your time on the Hill. How did you end up there?
Well, yeah, people usually want to lobby or run for office. Like, just like once you leave here, you usually you don't make much money on the Hill, so you usually want to like go take that and go finally make some money. Like that's usually the joy of leaving the Hill, finally gonna make some money, right? Not me. What's wrong with me? So so the thing about it, politics is the only thing I really ever love. Like in terms of like work, I believe all labor has value. So like I'm not opposed to doing anything else. But in terms of like what brings me joy, it's just like the study of power. And politics is the study of power on like a grand scale. Right. So the reason I went to the Hill was because what else you gonna do? That was the reason I majored in like political science. That's the reason I minored in philosophy, because how can you even figure out what your political philosophy is if you don't understand philosophy and the philosophical thinkers who have come about before you, right? How can you understand America if you don't understand John Locke, right? How can you even understand it if you haven't really thought about Hobbes deeply, if you haven't really thought about Rousseau, who came after him? And before, yes, the ADOS philosophical thinkers as well. Before anybody says the Yvette just brought up white people, no, I'm just talking about in general. There's a big world. But I think once you come out of that and you realize that that's what you want to do, and you are in the city to do it. Like Howard University is in Washington, D.C. What else are you going to do except put together your resume and send it to Capitol Hill? And I thought about it and I was just like, how can you, if you're gonna, if I'm a person who was raised up thinking about the civil rights movement. We watch Eyes on the Prize in high school, right? That PBS documentary. So if you are going to go and if you love politics and you figure out that hey, something still needs to happen. I'm still amongst a group of people that the government still owes them something. And right back then I'm just thinking about policy. Well, you want to go and you go on the Hill and you probably want to go work for a Democrat. That's my thinking as a 20-something year old. Like, yes, I'm gonna graduate and I'm gonna go work for a Democrat. And that's exactly what I did. I worked for two of them, then I went to work for the DNC. Then you kind of realize that like even if they're doing good work, they're not doing anything to really that's really transformative. They're not trying to change the lives of the people on the bottom. They want to make it to where you can live because you need to go vote, right? But nobody's really kind of doing any movement work. The people who work in the DNC got the smallest little office over there cobbled up together, and you realize that like there's nothing happening, right? Even though I work for the Women's Vote Center, like you see, there's an African American Vote Center. There are a bunch of little places in there, and you realize that like nobody's really doing anything specific for you. And so I was like, I'm leaving. I'm gone. I'm out of here. And so I went, worked some regular jobs for a little while, and I realized, no, I just like it. And I feel like when Obama got elected, I was like, I gotta go. I gotta start talking about this. At least because nobody was saying the thing that I saw. He's not gonna do nothing. He's better the first time McCain, but I'm like, he's better than McCain, yeah. But do y'all not see what's happening? Do y'all not see that he's avoiding the big thing that the reason that you're electing him, he's walking away from that. He don't want no parts of what you're talking about. And because nobody saw that, that's kind of why I decided, okay, I'm going to get back in this space and start really, really dedicating myself to talking about this in terms of commentary, because nobody is understanding who Obama is. And nobody is interpreting him the way he needs to be interpreted. Not as just a person who is slightly better than his opponent, but nobody really understands that this is not like a black man, like a black American man with a white mama. He is a white man with a Kenyan father, and that's the way you have to interpret him. And nobody was doing that, and so that's why I came back and said we have to talk about it. I have to talk about this. There's no way